Hello. Hello. How you guys doing? Sorry about that. I was trying to clean up. I still need to clean up. We don't have to worry about that. I have water. I was like, I don't have water. I need to go get it. I need to go get up and get water. No, I have water. It's right in front of me. It's in a cup. It's in a cup. So yeah. This is the final chapter of this long-ass game. And I'm not looking forward to it, because I don't know what's about to happen. And hopefully, I won't have a problem with it. Also, if you saw me leave my stream earlier after I ended the stream, no you didn't. I don't know why it does that. This is the reason why I always close down like the OBS program when I stop streaming. Because I'm afraid shit like that's gonna happen. Apparently it didn't redirect you guys fully. My stream kept on going. I don't know fucking why. But whatever. Ace Attorney. I'm playing Ace Attorney over Xenoblade because I have a feeling that I'm not gonna pay attention to Xenoblade and I might fall asleep. So I need something to do. This is something to do. I don't remember anything, by the way. Oh, wait, I didn't even start the final chapter. I think I considered it, and I'm like, nah. This is supposed to be the second part of the trial? Do we have more investigation, or are we just, is this just gonna be the trial? So, time has finally come. Today, we unravel everything. I'll be counting on your support more than ever today, Mrs. Sato. Mrs. Sato? Oh! It's been barely 5 minutes! Oh no! What's the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Nothing? I was just saying I'll be relying on your support today, but... I'm so sorry. Of course. I know I can be rather incompetent at times, but... I shan't let you down. Would you mind helping me to my feet then? Oh dear, I'm really very sorry. Zelda-san isn't her usual self at all. That's hardly surprising, I suppose. We just found out that her father is a partner of a world-famous detective, not to mention... Good morning, sir! Lord Von Zeeks! Thank you for all your efforts yesterday. What? Did I hear that correctly? What? Oh, no, nothing. Just, I hope we can clear things up today. I really can't make this man out. His face says, I hate you, but his words are almost jovial today. In fact, he hasn't been very Reaper-like at all since this all began yesterday. Lord Von Zeeks isn't the Reaper, Mr. Naruhodo. Good point. The Reaper? I suppose in hindsight, I shouldn't have allowed that misconception to go unchallenged. Huh? It was my tacit acceptance of the pseudonym. My failure to stop the Reaper to become something more than a mere legend that led to all this. But you're not to blame for that, Lord Von Zeeks. It's only because serious crime in the capital dropped so sharply when the public started calling you that. That's why you didn't say anything, isn't it? To be frank, I'm not sure that was the sole reason. What do you mean? There was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the ghost of my late brother. That having been slain by the evil king, Clint's restless spirit returned as some sort of demigod. To wield a deadly blade of justice where I, by dint of the law, could not. Yes, we've heard that story too. When I lost him, I felt as though I had lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go, what to do. And so, in some small way, I wonder if perhaps those rumors made me feel his absence a little less keenly. Even if I knew it was just an illusion. It was some nonsense conjured up by an over-imaginative public. He was obviously extremely important to you. Lord Clint von Zeeks. Well, what's important now is uncovering the truth. That's all that matters. I know you didn't take anyone's life. And I intend to prove that, beyond a shadow of a doubt, in court today. I never thought I'd say this, but I can see it in your eyes. That burning desire to cut through all of the lies and deception. I can't deny it any longer. You are a lawyer of absolute integrity. Thank you. Now tell me, why do I detect the scent of expensive tea leaves in the air? Iris! Oh, Iris! When did you get here? I brought you one of my special blends! Hurley loves it. He says it helps him to clear his head. I thank you. Oh, that's surely the first and last time I'll ever see a sight like this. You seem different today, Iris. Oh, sort of subdued, I suppose. I am not! What happened yesterday is so obviously still playing on her mind a lot. He's clearly very troubled about having stolen that autopsy report from Dr. Seitz's laboratory. Alright then, good luck to you both! I have to make a move now. Oh, you're not staying? I thought you wanted to watch today's proceedings. Well, I'd like to cheer you on, obviously. But I've got lots to get ready. Get ready? For what? Oh, yes! Would you take this? It's so cute! Isn't that one of the little felt dolls that usually dangle from your knapsack? Yes! It's a lucky charm. A little Hurley that I made once. A Hurley? It looks more like a Harley to me. Harley. If for some reason you completely run out of options in the trial today, then just pull this little Hurley's ears as hard as you possibly can! What? Pull his ears? That's right. It's a way to bring good luck. I think you might need it. Why do I have a feeling she hid like a tape recorder in this thing? You think we'll need his luck? I don't know, but I want to look at this thing. Can I pull at his ear right now? It's so cute! A charming little rabbity version of Mr. Sholmes. Do you suppose this is how Iris sees him? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Your eyes are veritably boring into the poor doll's ears. Oh, sorry, I was just wondering. What do you suppose would happen if I were to tug its ears with all my might right now? I'm sure that we'll find out when the time is right. To become a proper gentleman, you really must learn stoic patience. But I want to know! Yes! Susato, I want to know! I have to use this in one part of the trial, I swear to God. Wait, hold on, I forgot, I have the box. Can I open it? Will you allow me to open it? Have you seen this huge gash across the side of the trunk here? It's gone right through the leather into the metal behind. Gosh, for a metal chest like this to have been so badly damaged, whatever made the gash must have struck the side of the trunk with considerable force. I wonder how it happened. Let's have a look inside. Look, there's something inside. Ooh, let's see. It appears to be a passport, authorizing him to travel overseas. Was Inspector Gregson about to go on the trip abroad then? Perhaps the date of departure might tell something. That was... Oh! What is it? It was for travel on 31st October, just one day before the incident. What? Really? Gregson went to France the day before his body was discovered. Who the fuck pinged my phone? Ooh, blood! I didn't think I get that excited about blood. I'm gonna start staying here, do you think? Yes, I'm afraid so. I think it's blood. Ugh, I knew you were gonna say that. So that presumably means this was present at the scene when Inspector Gregson was killed. It's the most logical conclusion, yes. I think Gina's been carrying this around with her. If you didn't know any better, I suppose it does look like a grease stain from all the fish and chips. I think that's it. Using scarlet ink's visible on the little and ring finger. So the pinky and the ring finger? Bus Gregson, ACD0522. Within 1 week from 31st October, Port of Dunkirk, France. Police business. Permission for the applicant and 1 additional person to travel. I just sneaked a peek inside the courtroom. And it seems very different from normal. Yes, it would seem. A certain someone has decided to pull out all the stops. What does that mean? What about Mr. Sholmes, Iris? I don't know. He was out all night and hasn't come home by the time I left this morning. Oh, I see. Was Professor Mikatopa out all night too, do you think, Mrs. Sato? Yes, it would seem so. I telegrammed the hotel this morning. And apparently they didn't come back to their rooms last night at all. They? Father and Judge Chikoku, I mean. Judge Chikoku too? That's right. Nobody appears to have seen either of them since yesterday. Counsel for the defense and the defendant! Court is about to be in session. Please make your way inside the courtroom at once. Wonder if that dog collar that we found in the last game would show up. Collect them, Bruno. Collect Susie. Yes. Thanks, Iris. And you, Mr. Reaper? I hope it goes well. Once again, I thank you for the delicious tea. It was very soothing. Oh, I'm so glad! Let's go inside now, Lord Von Zeeks. Lord Von Zeeks has always been the formidable prosecutor I'd lock horns with in court. Not today. Today I battle with another in pursuit of the truth. My best friend, Kazuma Asugi, who I trust more than anyone in the world. Now I understand what it was that drew me here to Britain all those months ago. Now I know exactly what destiny had in store for me. It's all been leading up to this one day, to this one trial, to this one final reckoning. Oh, I forgot to eat this. I should eat this and my allergy pill, because I'm going to be cleaning again after stream. It's very quiet. It is horrendously quiet. It feels even more oppressive here than it did yesterday. There are cold stares piercing me like knives from all sides today. Mr. Naruto, look! Hi! Lord Strongheart? Kazuma must have known beforehand. The ramifications of this trial now extend far beyond the murder of one Scotland Yard inspector. In fact, events have come to light that threaten to rock the very foundations of our country's legal system. The escape of a condemned criminal on the night of his execution, the subsequent unlawful shooting of the man, and the revelation that prison staff must have been complicit in the jailbreak. Britain is currently hosting influential members of the judiciary from countries all around the world. It is imperative that we uncover the truth in these proceedings to avoid internal embarrassment. By royal decree, this will continue to be a closed trial. And one over I, which male Strongheart, exercise total and unequivocal authority. Oh! Oh no! The secure frames just... As was the case in yesterday's proceedings, those here present in the public gallery are distinguished members of our judiciary assembled to bear witness to a fair judicial process. In other words, a collection of your acolytes, Lord Strongheart. On a personal note, I find this most distressing, Lord Von Zieks. You are a prosecutor of exceptional talent. Much like your brother, Clint, in fact. Ah! What kind of sound is that? What kind of sound is that? In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. For the trial of Beric Von Zieks, who officially stands accused of murder. Counsels for the prosecution and defense. Are you in full readiness to proceed? The defense is ready, my lord. As is the prosecution. Yesterday's proceedings brought to light a shocking and disturbing fact. There was a side to the victim, Inspector Tobias Gregson, that was unknown to his superiors at Scotland Yard. Yes, I just fucking hydrated Shiva. You piss right the fuck off. I can hear him fucking laughing too. Man. Yes, he was carrying out operations in secret, which Scotland Yard knew nothing about. What the hell? How do I say that word? And in those clandestine operations, he had an accomplice, Mr. Daily Vigil, who would be given the inspector's identification. Me, live as I force you to hydrate. No. I will kill you next week. Present himself across the capital in order to establish credible alibis for Gregson. In that way, Gregson appears to be carrying out his regular Scotland Yard work when in fact he wasn't. At the end of yesterday's session, Mr. Vigil, who has been suffering from amnesia, regained his memory. It would appear he buried his memories of the time deep inside himself as a means of self-preservation. Because whilst he was engaged as chief warder at Barclay Prison, he abetted the convict's escape. Mr. Vigil is currently recuperating at St. Sinner's. He's recovered enough to give a signed statement about his movements on the day prior to the incident. He's formally admitted to posing as Gregson while investigating the Red-Headed League. Which brings us to the crucial issue of the victim's time of death. The defense yesterday proposed a suggestion that the victim may have been killed one day earlier. This was based largely on the discovery of the victim's pocket watch, which has not been wound. The prosecution has something to report on that subject, my lord. Really? Go ahead, Prosecutor Asogi. I met once again with the coroner yesterday to discuss the issue. She confirmed that the defense's suggestion could not be ruled out. It's entirely possible that Inspector Gregson was killed on the 31st October, the day before his body was discovered. I have here an updated autopsy report that includes the amended details. But the official opinion of the investigation team was made clear yesterday, that the time of death was 5 p.m. on 1st November. There are indications of an attempt to disguise the real time of death, however. It seems that the natural decaying process of the victim's body may have been slowed by keeping it chilled. That's out of the question. There are no refrigeration devices in that part of London large enough to accommodate a human corpse. My lord, this is more than just conjecture. There's evidence to support the idea. We must investigate it thoroughly. Very well. The court will accept the new report as evidence. However, if this updated report is deemed to be accurate, it would give renewed significance to the movements of the victim of the day before the Fresno Street incident. It would, yes. Especially since on that day, Inspector Gregson was using Mr. Vigil to cover up his real movements. It's conceivable that he was killed in the course of his secret activities. I sense that the prosecution has some information regarding those activities. Scotland Yard put an enormous effort into investigating that precise matter yesterday. I think we should begin by presenting the results of that investigation work. So the prosecution calls its first witness now. Who? Gina! State your name and occupation for the court. Inspector Gina Lestrade, reporting. Representative of Scotland Yard. A self-conferred rank, but never mind. Gina? Again? What's your problem, Odo? What's with that Gina? Again? Look, huh? The boss meant the world to me. He's done more for me than anyone else ever did. Oh? Inspector Gregson, you mean? He got me out of the back slums of the East End and he took me under his wing. Taught me that life can have a purpose. So that's why I'm the best person to be standing here speaking for him. Oh, Gina. Right, out of all the goodness of Gregson's heart. Not at all that he had his arms twisted by Mr. Sholmes, no. What's relevant to these proceedings that the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigation yesterday has revealed that the victim was carrying out some assignment the police knew nothing about. Very troubling. That face. Lord Strongheart knew. So, Inspector Lestrade, let's hear exactly what it says in that report. Coming right up, sir. Coming right up. All yard detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told. With a little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook that had a load of secret meetings in it. According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggling goods dealing that day. Looks like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't onto it yet. What matters most is there's witnesses what saw the Reaper at the place too! Smuggled goods? I don't know, do I? I'm just telling you what was written in the book. Tobacco, tea, spices, medicines. Goods of all sorts flow into London by illegal channels from across the globe. It's well known that they're disposed of at regular black markets that take place in the capital. But the police are rarely able to locate them in time. So Inspector Gregson was investigating one of those black markets? It's been suggested that high-ranking government officials may be involved in black market activity. No doubt Gregson was trying to avoid dealings of his investigations being leaked to the involved parties. That would explain why he was operating on his own authority without the Yard's knowledge. And do we know where the dealings were taking place this time? In a particular group of a certain exclusive London gentleman's club. And on the day in question, the accused is known to have been there. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation onto the matter. That can be! We haven't heard anything about any of this. Members of the club have testified to it. There's no question. The accused, Berg von Zieks, was present. That will be very significant testimony then. Oh my, but Lord von Zieks had made no mention of this at all. In short, Lord von Zieks had ample opportunity to murder the victim. Very well then. Counsel for the defense, begin your cross-examination. Okay. Can I have the notebook?
Hold it!
Will you allow me the notebook? So you went through Inspector Gregson's things? Yep, as part of the independent Lestrade investigation. I'm sure your superiors would be delighted that you're taking the initiative. So I stuck into his office when no one else was about. Guess if anyone at the yard had seen me going in there, they'd have turfed me straight onto the street. This is sounding less and less like an investigation and more like something else. The prosecution understands that it was this very detective who discovered a notebook. You got that right! Nothing gets past Inspector Lestrade and our trusty assistant, Chief Inspector Dobie. We found it hidden in his desk drawers that had a false bottom. That's impressive. So then I went to hide myself where no one could find me so I could have a butcher's at what was written in it. Because if anyone at the yard had found me out, they'd have toughed me straight out onto the street. I've given it in now though, ain't I? And if it were for me, it would have never been found. Can I have the notebook? Hold it! Do you have any idea where those dealings were taking place? Yep. It was all there in the boss's notes. Let's see if I can remember. As I already said, the illegal dealings were due to taking place at a gentleman's club. Yes, I remember. But I was hoping to find out the name of the club. That won't be necessary. What? It's conceivable that the club might be used again by the smugglers in the future. Therefore, the prosecution has been asked not to reveal the name of these proceedings. I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's right here. All I gotta do is read it out. And I could too. I got this reading game buttoned up now. Can't I show you what I can do? Come on, what's the arm? The judge hasn't signaled his objection yet. I could try to find out, which I do. This is a closed court. The proceedings are confidential. There shouldn't be any possibility of the information being leaked. As I explained, there is some possibility of politicians being involved in this affair. The prosecution is rightfully exercising caution, I imagine. No, my lord. The prosecution has no objection. Kazuma? There's no question that Inspector Gregson was looking into those black market dealings. However, it's not yet been established that he was on that particular trail on the day in question. If the defense requires to know the club's name, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive. Alright then! I get to show off me reading skills! Apparently the smuggler goods was gonna happen at a gentleman's club called the Gross. I don't remember. Just want to double check. I'm gonna look through all of my evidence just to be very careful. This had the Reaper activity, but I don't think any of them had that specific club. I mean, we could check. The details of a whole raft of cases dating back years on here, aren't there? Paper from 10 years ago is browning with age. The most recent things appear to be of the newspaper cutting here. It's the same Red-Headed League advertisement that Mr. Chalmers picked out. And do you remember? There's a red hair piece at the scene too. Is Inspector Gregson an X-Men of the Red-Headed League then? Okay, that's not what I thought it was. Okay, no, I think this just basically says it's Gina. I just realized Gina has this fucking badge. I don't think I have anything specific. I don't have anything specific of this club.
Hold it!
That is my laundry thingy. The gross? What sort of club is that? I ain't got the foggiest. Clubs aren't exactly my thing. But I'm kinda curious. There are not places where a foreign student like you would be readily admitted. Have you looked in the mirror recently? I tell you what. Me and Chief Inspector Dobie could go in undercover. Could you though? I could pick out a few good marks and see what else I could find while I was in there. I really don't think you should go picking out anything. Anyway, that's where these black market dealings are going to take place. Wait. That's gotta be. That's what the low-ranking detectives of the yard reckon. Says the even lower-ranking detective.
Hold it!
Lord Von Zeeks was at the club? He was. Detectives who visited the club yesterday to make inquiries have confirmed it. Several members reported seeing the accused being admitted to the room in question as a guest. It looks like there's no disputing that he was there then. Well, we know that Lord Von Zeeks was investigating Inspector Gregson, don't we? Perhaps he'd already discovered the inspector's secret notebook. Which led him to the club, you mean? Maybe. Presumably then, that there are also eyewitnesses who can testify that Gregson was there. None have been identified at this time, no. So the all-important victim wasn't seen at this mysterious club. Oi! Weren't you asking the Inspector Lestrade here, huh? That's all I got to work with. Gina's not holding back with that ice-cold stare of hers, is she? I really don't know what to make of all this. Lord Von Zeeks told us he was investigating Inspector Gregson. But he never once mentioned that he met the inspector the day before the incident. You don't think Lord Von Zeeks could have been lying to us, do you? That's not the only way to explain this. If everything Lord Von Zeeks has told us is true, then there must be a mistake in this testimony somewhere. You mean, there are details we've yet to uncover? Exactly. A clue, perhaps, that even Gina has not noticed. That's why we should be looking here.
Hold it!
So, you followed orders, do you, Gina? No, not me. I'm above all that, see? Oh. The boss always had special orders for me. Grab us some fish and chips, or go give Toby his grub. That kind of thing. So, errands more than orders, then. This detective is still an apprentice, after all. Yeah, well, this apprentice ain't one to sit around and wait to be told what to do, even by the boss. That's why I've been doing my own investigations into what happened. I didn't find much at first.
Hold it!
So how has Inspector Gregson come to find out about this in that case? That's the question, ain't it? But I'm just an apprentice, so... And why did he inform Scotland Yard of his findings? Yeah, that's what I was asking myself, cause, you know, I'm just an apprentice. When it suits you, yes. Anyway, the point is, something went on at that club, no question. You can't say that for certain, though. Surely. Shit. I got nothing. I got nothing. Uh-oh. I need to prove... Is there something in this trunk? No, is it just that? Oh wait, is that a knife? Do you see that? There's something stuck in the side of the trunk there. It's glinting. It looks like a fragment of metal of some sort. But it's wedged in so tightly I can't remove it. Well, don't cut yourself. You better leave it, I think. Okay, so that's a knife in there. There's nothing else. Hey, can I tug this? Can I please tug this? Cause it's not even the first bout, and I don't know what the fuck's going on. The only thing I can think of is this. That's about it. Shit. That last statement seems a little questionable to me. What do you think, my lord? I see no inconsistency there. Do you? You could span the Straits of Dover with those wide eyes, Counsel, and be gone from this island forever, I hope. Do you want me to fill the English Channel with tears? There has to be something. It doesn't say it in this newspaper. I feel like it should say it in this newspaper, but I don't see it in this newspaper. I don't see it. Mikatova has wonderful handwriting, doesn't he? This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. Yeah, well. This is a steamship. Oh! Wait, does it even show the name in here? It doesn't. Okay, no wonder I missed it. Please, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up! Shut up! I need to present the ticket! No. Am I on the right one? Yeah, I'm on the right one.
Objection!
I've read about these clubs that exist here in Britain. As I understand it, they're places where well-to-do gentlemen socialize with friends and colleagues. Don't imagine for a second that a foreign student like you would be admitted. Seriously, is your mirror cracked or something? Do we know for sure that the contraband deals are definitely happening at a club called the Groose? The police are currently looking for evidence, but haven't found anything definite yet. And I'm sorry to say that they probably won't. What do you mean by that? I mean that the place Inspector Gregson was secretly going to visit on the 31st of October may not have been a gentleman's club at all. You're showing a very irrelevant attitude towards the country's police force there, Counsel. If it wasn't a gentleman's club, then what was it? A steamship. You think it's a ship? I have the evidence to prove it. Here! Let me see that. This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. The other side, my lord. Be more specific next time. Ah, this appears to be a ticket for passage upon the steamship, yes. The SS Groose.
Objection!
So there's a steamship named the Groose that happens to share a name with the club. Hello, not to me. How you doing? Hey, it's your boy Red here, the bully Zora with my channel. What the fuck? Hey, what kind of? That was not English, sir. Are you okay? Are you drunk? Please don't tell me you're actually drunk. I got a worm. Anyways, there's a flaw in your logic there. How? Look at this ticket. Notice the date of arrival on port. The ship arrived at the port of Dover in 1st November. The day on which the sound like a gunshot was heard on Fresno Street. In other words, on the day in question here, 31st October, when the victim was on his clandestine mission. But the ship hasn't yet docked on British shores. That would certainly make an undercover investigation somewhat challenging.
Objection!
I don't know what happened. I don't believe you. The fact that the steamship hasn't yet reached Britain substantiates the defense's assertion that the victim was investigating the SS Groose on the day in question. Then show your evidence for that assertion. Very well. In that case, counsel for the defense, present your evidence to court now. You know, I would love to do that, but can I like step away for like 2 minutes to go throw my stuff in the laundry? Yeah, or not the laundry. I need to throw laundry into the dryer. I'll be back. Don't do anything funny. Why is my thing not going to sleep anymore? My model's supposed to go to sleep when I lose tracking. What the fuck? The fuck? Worm. The worst part is this worm's not centered either. Mostly because I move around. I should probably change this cat's eye color. Anyways, give me this passport. What's this? A passport for travel issued to the victim. Dated 31st October. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that just one day before the inspector's body was discovered, there's a distinct possibility he wasn't even in the country. Order! Order! This document is for passage to France. It does appear to have been officially authorized. The day before the SS Cruise arrived at Dover, it docked on the northern coast of France for a night. According to my father, who was on board, at the port of Dunkirk. Dunkirk, France. What could possibly have taken the victim there? I'm impressed, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I certainly didn't expect you to get your hands on that passport. What? You mean, you knew about this? The prosecution strategy for this trial has been laid down by the Crown Prosecution Office. On the day before the incident, the victim was investigating contraband dealings at a London club. That's the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations, and a line the prosecution has been asked to follow. But personally, I don't agree. I think the prosecution office is trying to hide something. And now that you've expertly disproven their assertion, I intend to reveal what I believe. I hate it here. English is stupid. English is stupid. I tend to reveal what I believe there's something to be. What are you playing at, Prosecutor Asaki? A courtroom is a forum for the truth, my lord. Which is why it's my duty to present all the facts, without exception. Let me guess. This was your intention from the outset, wasn't it? The reason Inspector Gregson secretly made his way to the steamship docked in France on the day in question was to carry out a mission for the Reaper. The Reaper? Order! Order! What on earth are you saying, counsel? The prosecution made an assertion in court yesterday. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. I'm sure everyone can imagine, by the Reaper's hand. Yeah. But in reality, the truth is the opposite of that. What? Inspector Gregson wasn't investigating the Reaper at all. He was, in fact, acting for the Reaper. So, you're saying the mission he was undertaking was, obviously, an assassination. Eric von Zeeks never carried out any of the actual killings. Whenever the Reaper's victims lost their lives, he always had a cast iron alibi. Which tells us that he must have had an accomplice. And you claim that was Inspector Gregson? What the hell do you think you're saying, huh? My boss would never have done nothing like that. And yet, when you consider all the facts, it all makes perfect sense. No, it can't be. We also arrived at the same conclusion, didn't we? Inspector Gregson was operating as the Reaper. Even so, there's no way the person giving him his orders was Lord Von Zeeks. No, the true Reaper is someone else. Eric Von Zeeks is not the Reaper. A predictable response for someone who's advocating for the man. Even if it's true that Gregson was operating as the agent of the Reaper, the suggestion that he went aboard the SS Grus on an assassination mission doesn't follow up at all. Oh? You have some solid reason for doubting the assertion, do you, counsel? Absolutely. It's very simple. On the day in question, nobody was killed aboard that steamship. Professor Mikotoba and Judge Shikoku were on that very ship. If someone had been assassinated, I'm certain we would have heard about it. so funny? You're right, of course. No suspicious deaths reported on the board of the ship. But I think perhaps you've missed the point. That's precisely why Inspector Gregson himself lost his life. What? Gregson did board the SS Cruise that night with the intention of dispatching his mark. But his mission ended in failure. Failure? It seems that the defense hasn't yet grasped a very important detail here. What are you talking about? What detail? Inspector Gino Lestrade. Eh? What? The victim's notebook that you read an excerpt from earlier. That doesn't contain details of secret investigations at all. It describes 10 years of assassination plots to be carried out by the Reaper of the Bailey. You're lying! Even if all of them bludgers what got taken out that had it coming. Boss weren't the Reaper. Poor Gina. There's no question that Tobias Gregson was heavily involved in the Reaper's activities. You may be just an apprentice, but if you spent any time at Scotland Yard, you must have heard rumors. I ain't heard nothing. I don't believe a word of it. And testify again as a representative of Scotland Yard. Consider it your chance to defend your boss. I don't... I concur. The witness will give a new formal testimony. Miss Lestrade, you will tell the court everything you know about Inspector Gregson's secret notebook. Yeah, this notebook does have a load of stuff about what the Reapers got up to these past 10 years. Name of victims, dates, and places and stuff, and the last entry in there was 31st October. It says Groose for the place on the date, and then the name on the mark. There was a note about him being a criminal what got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago or something. But honest, the boss didn't do none of that. He was just investigating the Reaper, that's all. Don't make Gina cry. If you make Gina cry, I'm gonna cry. Keep personal opinions out of your testimony, witness. We require only established fact here. This must be so hard for her. You can't deny it now, surely, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What can't I deny? The notebook contained the name of the final mark and the location where the assassination would take place. That's the information that the victim could have only known if he was working with the Reaper. So, who was to be the final mark? Go ahead, Inspector Lestrade. Read the name for the court. The name that's written alongside the entry that mentions the Groose on 31st October. Eh? Oh, how'd you read this then? Reading's still not our strong suit. That ain't the problem, alright, Odo? It's a funny name. It ain't English. It's hard to read. So it's someone from overseas? Let me have a bash at it. Ro... Is it? Yes, Seishiro. You, maybe? What? It can't be. Seishiro Jikoku? That's Judge Jikoku! Seishiro Jikoku. Certainly not an English name, you're right.
Objection!
That can't be right! I know Judge Jikoku! I saw him the day before yesterday, here in London! So I know for the fact the man hasn't been assassinated. As I said, the Reaper failed. Gregson missed his chance to kill his mark and return to British shores. The Reaper wouldn't tolerate the mistake, so he killed the inspector personally. The Reaper, of course, being the accused, Baron von Zeeks. It's an undeniably logical argument. Kazuma, you planned for the trial to go this way all along, didn't you?
Hold it!
Oh, is that Baron von Zeeks? Hi! Hey, look, you have your... He pulled out the leg. Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice while I stand accused of murder. Lord Von Zeeks! The accused has no right to speak uninvited in the court. You will return to the dock. I say nothing of whether or not I'm the Reaper. That's the task of this court to decide. But there is one thing I can say unequivocally. That girl's no detective. Eh? What? Nah, that's right. I ain't. I'm an inspector. Repeating rumors having heard about the yard. Reading entries from a notebook of unconfirmed origin. That's not testimony. It's practically a script. Note that the rest of this trial will go exactly as you clearly planned. Your hatred of me is understandable. In your mind, I'm sure I'm the Reaper, who sent your father to the gallows all those years ago. But you're in danger of becoming a far more sinister Reaper yourself, by attempting to have me condemned with this feeble excuse for testimony. What did you just say? Mr. Naruhodo, this is our chance! My lord, the defense requests that the defendant be allowed to speak. He may be privy to important information related to the testimony just given by the witness. Idiot, it looks so scary. Very well. I'll make an exception and grant the request. The defendant may remain in a witness stand for the cross-examination. Then allow me to toast the court's impartiality. Don't raise your glass in my direction, sir. Counsel for the defense, begin the cross-examination immediately. At once, my lord. Okay.
Hold it!
Names of victims, dates, places, and stuff? What in particular? Well, besides the victim name, this other name kept cropping up. What other name was that? It's the one I told you yesterday. The same name, written over and over and over again. You mean... Asa Shin? Yeah, that's the one! She's a friend of yours or something, isn't she? Were you even listening yesterday? Asa Shin. The assassin. What? Like, a killer, you mean? Gregson was the tactician, the one who came up with the plan of attack. He investigated the marks thoroughly, finding out where they would be vulnerable and who to use to get them. The person actually executing his plans was someone else, you're saying? If that's true, then the Reaper does indeed start to sound like an organized group of vigilantes. Ah, then perhaps what it says on the passport document. Permission for the applicant and one additional person to travel. That additional person have been clearly the assassin, who was meant to take Seishiro Jikoku's life. Needle. Gina, can you confirm that? Against the final entry that lists Grus and Seishiro Jikoku. What name was written? Oh, well, that's the only entry that didn't have a name next to it, as it happens. What? It just had like a question mark or something there, I think. In other words, Gregson himself didn't know the identity of the assassin in that case. But Gregson was the one making the plans, was he not? Oh, how infuriating! Nameless assassin?
Hold it!
What do you mean a criminal? Judge Jikoku is no criminal. Well, don't ask me. I don't know nothing about it. Oh, do you remember what Father told us? That Judge Jikoku did once appear in court here in Britain. It was related to the professor case, I'm sure. Yes, of course. You're right. So what was the fucking case again? Oh, he broke the witness stand. Was he charged with perjury? It was a pitiful situation, yes. I'd forgotten all about it, but I prosecuted that trial too, as it happens. You did? It was considered to be an adjunct to the professor proceedings, you see. But he was acquitted after being told to make reparations for the damage caused in the stand. And there you have it. Have what? Surely the accused hasn't forgotten his own rule? That there's no saving anyone who faces the Reaper in court, guilty or innocent alike. No! Are you suggesting that the reason Judge Chikoko was targeted for assassination? The man was sent back to Japan immediately after the trial. The Reaper has no time to do his work. But then, 10 years later, the mark returns to Britain once more. Perhaps now you start to see just how vindictive the Reaper is. Come on, that's absurd! To take someone's life for that? Isn't the whole premise of the Reaper absurd, killing those who have been found innocent? Clearly the rules by which the man operates are beyond the sane person's comprehension. But...
Hold it!
in other words, it shows that Gregson was basically acting as the Reaper. Not you and all! That ain't the only explanation, is it? He could have been investigating the Reaper in secret, and that notebook said what he found out. If I may. When originally people began referring to me as the Reaper, I didn't object. I believe the power to intimidate London's criminal classes into compliance with the law to be beneficial. You carried out your own investigations into the true identity of the Reaper, didn't you? Yes. And those investigations proved conclusively that Gregson was one arm of the Reaper. One arm? What are you on about? The Reaper's victims were all extremely shrewd criminals at the top of their game. There's simply no way one person could have taken them on alone. The Reaper is an organization. With you at his head, I had spies at the yards keeping me abreast of Gregson's movements, letting me know when he was elsewhere. So I've been able to check the most recent entry in his book. I knew the location. You knew it said Groose? Believe it to be a reference to the Gentleman's Club. I went there on the day in question to investigate. Alone. Ah, so that explains why several members of the club claimed to have seen you there. But of course, the inspector was not there. Because at the time, he was making his way to the steamship dock on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. Very well then, back to your testimony about the contents of this notebook. How did you know it was inside the trunk? Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? You seem a little shocked by something a moment ago. Oh, no, it's alright. I'm overthinking this, aren't I? Oh shit.
Hold it!
Did it just stop? That was 20 minutes. That wasn't even 30. I'll grab it after this if it doesn't give me anything. And you're saying that the mark listed was Seishiro Jikoku? That's what it said! Funny name, if you ask me. And I thought your name was odd. So pleased to have lost my crown there. Mr. Jikoku is the presiding judge of Japan's Supreme Court of Judicature. I remember the man. He came to our country as a visiting student 16 years ago, studying international law and diplomacy under your tutelage, Lord Strongheart. That bearded young fellow was a very able man, I must say. Lord Strongheart was Judge Chikoku's mentor. If I'm not mistaken, he returned to Japan 10 years ago now. 10 years ago, after the fateful case. Precisely. In the aftermath of the professor case, his repatriation was organized immediately. It's a mystery why such a man would be listed in the inspector's notebook. I didn't think it was possible, but the moods in here got even worse now. Maybe I'll just keep talking. Oh. Right, I just had enough of this. Gina? All this nonsense about the boss planning to kill people. It's cobblers! Come on, Odo. Yes? Why ain't you saying nothing? Why ain't you yelling out objection or something? What? You've gotta find a flaw. You usually do. Someone's lying here, no question. You gotta work out who it is. Please. What a boss. That outburst was an insult to court in your own testimony. I might have known that a common pickpocket from the back slums couldn't make a detective. When this trial is over, you will forfeit your warrant card, Miss Lestrade. Is that clear? I've had it with a lot of you. It's lies every bleeding place you look in the world, isn't it? Well, I've had enough. Gina. So have I. After that little speech of Gina's, I've made up my mind. Do what, Mr. Naruhodo? There was one point in the cross-examination when something that was just said didn't sit right with me. One statement that seemed odd. Oh, do you mean... I'm not gonna let Gina's plea for help fall on deaf ears. Can I present it?
Objection.
No, fuck. Okay, hang on. Let me go hang my laundry before I forget. I didn't think it'd be done. Back. I'm gonna get rid of this notification. Go away. Oh, the fuck, go away. Oh, shit. Alright.
Hold it!
I'm trying to 5 law. I want to thank you, Gina. You helped me find my resolve. Eh? What do you mean? Amongst everything we've heard during this cross-examination, there's one thing that defies explanation. One inconsistency. What? An inconsistency? Really, Otto? I don't quite know what it means yet, but... Yes, there's an inconsistency in something that was said by... Where the hell is he? Hey, buddy.
Take that!
By you, Kazuma Asugi. Me? Is this some attempt at filibustering, Counsel? Prosecutor Asugi has given no testimony. What are you suggesting I said that was inconsistent? You let something slip that you shouldn't have. When I presented the relevant piece of evidence, I imagine you realize what you've done. Very well then, Counsel, go ahead. What evidence reveals this alleged inconsistency in something Prosecutor Asugi said?
Take that!
So, my initial impressions were correct. This is nonsense. Ah, damn it. Oh, you wanted me to present what was the failing. You accused your best friend of backing up with that? Clearly, the Ryunosuke Naruto I knew is dead. Wow. Struck down by my best friend. I believe what you intended to point out, Mr. Naruto, was what Kazuma said. Yeah, no, it's pointing out. Yes, I know what it is. I just didn't know which one you want me to do. I take it from your expression that you're not going to let this go. Correct, my lord. I made a mistake. That's all. What do you suggest I said that? Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me save, because now I have 2 points of HP. Hello? Oh, wait. I was trying to hit the B button. This.
Take that!
This is a trunk that belonged to Inspector Gregson. Criminal construction, is it? It's certainly very heavy. What's this? A bloodstain. And a relatively fresh one, too. What? You mean that ain't grease from all the boss's fish and chips? Fresh blood on the inspector's trunk. That suggests that the victim was traveling with the luggage when he was killed. That can't be. There was no mention of any trunk in Scotland Yard's report. Yes, there's a reason for that. Immediately after the inspector's body was discovered, one of the street peddlers made off with the trunk, hoping to sell it. But I found it. Me, with me nose for trouble. Which means that nobody should have known anything about the trunk. Unless, of course, we're talking about someone who was present when the victim was killed. And yet, during the cross-examination of witness just now, you said this, Cosmo. Talking about the passport in the trunk. So the question is, how did you know about the inspector's trunk? We know the man went on a trip to France. Where else would he have put his passport?
Objection!
But you knew it was a metal trunk. Answer me honestly, Kazuma. On 31st October, where exactly were you? At the port of Dunkirk, on board the SS Groose. Is that the answer you're looking for, Ryunosuke? Kazuma, what did you... I hadn't considered the possibility before, but if Kazuma was on the ship, then it can only have been for one purpose. Oh no, Mr. Naruto. Surely you don't think... Come on, Ryunosuke, you know the rules. The only thing that really talks in this courtroom is hard evidence. As I understand it, Inspector Gregson always took that case with him when he traveled. So as it stands, you've proven nothing. Kazuma, are you challenging me to prove it beyond all reasonable doubt? That you were there that day, in the same place as the inspector? He was there? With Gregson? There's a clue that you've overlooked, a secret that Trunk can tell us. Can't be sure at this point. I'll need to verify it. But I have a nasty feeling that I'm going to be right. The accusation in it being made is deeply disturbing, but nevertheless, we must test it. The defense will identify for the court where in the trunk this alleged clue is to be found. No, I just realized it now. We're about to check his sword. We're about to check his sword. We're gonna check his sword. We're gonna check his sword.
Got it!
There's a small piece of metal lodged in the wall of the trunk here. Like the tip of a blade. Eh? A blade? Kazuma, slung around your waist as ever today, is the esteemed blade Karma. Of course it is. Won't you draw it here in this courtroom for all to see? Exercise caution, my learned friend. That man is the son of London's most notorious killer. Bailiff? Watch Prosecutor Asagi like a hawk. That will be necessary. Yep. Oh no! The tip. It's broken. If the fragment of metal from the trunk fits together with the edge of the sword, the question of who was there with Inspector Gregson will be answered. Agreed. Kazuma Asagi? Expertly done, Ryunosuke. That's a point to you, and well deserved. You mean to tell the court, Prosecutor Asagi? Yes, on 31st October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission. So the additional person authorized to travel was me. And the mission was the assassination of the Mark. What? What? You mean you're the killer whose name was omitted from this notebook? You were following the Reaper's orders. Dispatch Judge Jikoku? Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I have killed no one. Explain. I accepted the assassination mission, yes, and I accompanied Gregson to Durkin. But I never had any intention of carrying out the plan. You were never going to do it? You can believe Kazuma-sama, I'm sure. After all, Judge Jikoku arrived safely in London the following day. On the 31st, I boarded a train from London with Inspector Gregson. We traveled to Dover, from where we crossed the channel to Dunkirk. And we boarded the SS Gruus and made for the cabin deck, as indicated in the plan. You went to Judge Jikoku's cabin? Exactly. He wasn't there, though. We decided to wait, but you've already told us you have no intention of going through with it anyway. I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life. So I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. I spent that night at a boarding house in the town and returned to England the following morning. A boarding house in Dunkirk? My signature will be in the register book. It would be simple enough to verify. Then, what became of Jikoku? Gregson was no assassin, so the mark was spared. I'm sure it's easy enough to imagine what happened after that. Gregson returned to England as well, having failed to complete the mission. He met with the Reaper in that room on Fresno Street to report the failure, causing the infuriated mastermind to pull the trigger and end his wretched agent's life. It's the real truth behind Inspector Gregson's murder.
Objection!
But if you did nothing as you claim, how did the tip of your sword come to be lodged in the inspector's trunk? I smell armpits is a wild freaking YouTube username. How you doing? I don't need to answer that. The victim was killed by a gunshot. A small fragment of a Japanese blade isn't relevant to the case. And accordingly, I choose to exercise my right to silence on that matter. Be that as it may, the court will sequester the sword as evidence. As you wish, my lord. So if you don't mind... If you don't mind me doing this... Is that blood? Karma, the great blade. It's such a thing of beauty. I want to gaze on it for hours. Wait. There's literally nothing on this thing. I can't zoom in, which is infuriating me. The tip of the great sword. Broken. It's such a shame. It's been so meticulously cared for over the years. I can almost hear Karma sob. Kazuma must have really taken a swing for that to happen. Is that really all this thing has? Bro, really? 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 I'd have thought. What if Kazuma didn't swing his sword? What if it was his father, and that thing has been embedded there for God knows how long, and the sword was always broken? Maybe. Suzato would know, because I think she would have seen the sword, right? Suzato would know. Must take immediate action now to verify whether Seishiro Chikoku remains unharmed. What? Remains unharmed? I agree. That should be our first priority. It's recently come to my attention that he hasn't been seen since yesterday. How did you... When a foreign dignitary invited to Great Britain goes missing for 24 hours, it's only natural that the question of his safety should be arise. You don't mean to say that you think Judge Ikoku may have been killed? The Reaper has more than one assassin at his disposal. And he has the power and influence to give orders from the insider of a prison cell. Isn't that right, Lord Von Zeeks? If I were truly the Reaper, I'd be able to tell you. Please stop slamming that thing on the desk. Order. Order in the court. Order. We will take an emergency recess for 30 minutes. Now? Guests of the symposium have been told to maintain regular contact with the organizer's office. If the van cannot be located within half an hour, we will have to assume the worst. Oh no! Not Judge Chikoku! No one will want to kill a harmless Japanese man who's only just arrived in the country. Except, that is, for the Reaper wanting to finish off a mark that slipped through the net 10 years ago. I would have to agree. Mr. Naruhodo, for the defense's sake... My lord? I sincerely hope we are successful. If we are unable to confirm Mr. Jikoku's healthy existence in the next 30 minutes, you will face grave difficulties. Why me? Court is adjourned for 30 minutes. What the fuck did I do? I just brought up the plus. I didn't kill the man. I didn't injure the man. Uh-oh. Why are we alone? Kazuma-sama, the Reaper's assassin. You saw him in a nightmare. I can hardly believe it either. But on the other hand, Kazuma isn't in the habit of making up stories. I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. If something awful has happened to Judge Jikoku, then I feel as though things will only spiral further and further out of control. I felt it from the moment I stepped into the courthouse this morning. A strange sensation that we were careering towards a foregone conclusion. Well, in the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Unfortunately, though, I don't think there's anything we can do but wait now. We're out of options. Actually, there may be one last hand we can play. Or rather, one last year. Of course! A little Mr. Sholmes doll that Iris gave us. I didn't think it'd be this early. Look, it has been barely an hour and 30. And we're already having to pull this out. Perhaps now's the time. What do I do? Pull Harley's ear? Or Harley's ear or not? Here goes then. I'm gonna do it! Good luck, Mr. Naruhodo. No looking back. Heave! Ow! That scream sounded like Mr. Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes? Where are you? Here, my dear fellow. Here. It's the felt doll talking. Pull the ear again, Mr. Naruhodo, as hard as you can. All right then. I'll put all my strength into it. Heave! Ow! Please, my dear fellows, you don't need to pull my ear off. He's so cute. Mr. Sholmes, where are you? Myself and my trusty partner are presently in the first-class cabin area of the SS Groose. The SS Groose? She left over last night after the final pieces of cargo were loaded. We are currently docked at Dunkirk, but due to be underway again in half an hour. You've taken a trip to France? Please, even with my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump the Straits of Dover. After we left Baker Street last night, we hurried by cab to the station and by train to the port, in order to board this vessel in time. So, you mean you've already worked it out? The steamship was where everything really took place? Mr. Naruhodo, pray, what is my name? Sherlock Sholmes, world famous great detective! Recite to perfection, well done! You're a genius, Mr. Sholmes, that's the only word for it! Ow, 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 ow! Mr. Zato, gently with this genius's ear, please! Oh my, I'm ever so sorry! If I may, Sholmes. Ah, there you are, Mikotoba. You may remember that it was in fact I who made the connection to the SS Groose. At Scotland Yard yesterday when we examined that notebook and I recalled my steamship ticket. But of course it was, my dear fellow. And not once did I controvert that fact. I merely had our court-bound companions utter my name. Yes, you did, didn't you? We've just entered a recess. The trial resumes in 30 minutes from now. And if we're unable to present any new leads then I'm afraid to say... Do not fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I have made this journey. I have no doubt we shall have welcome news for you within the half hour. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. That would be wonderful. So where the hell is Jikoku? Until later then. Yes, you'll be hearing from us if you're not in touch first. Ow, 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 ow! I shan't be hearing anything if you keep tucking my ear in that mindless fashion. whatever was the idea behind making a receiver operating in that way in the first place, Miss Sholmes? Why the deuce would I know? It's Iris's invention, not mine. No, but seriously, where's Jacoby? Also, I know how much you enjoy being the hero of the hour, Sholmes. We have but half that now before the Groose puts to sea again. If we don't conclude our investigations rapidly, we shall find ourselves in Naples before long. There are times, Mikatopa, when you make a surprising amount of sense. So, let us begin. Wait, do I get to investigate this place? No shot. No shot. First class cabin number 2. Yes, this is the one. But I believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be plain sailing. Hello. That crewman standing in front of the door is an angry looking fellow. Why are you loitering here? Who are you? My dear fellow, do you not recognize the world famous great detective when you see one? The question really ought to be, who are you? Do you not recognize the world traveling great sailor? Oh shit. Chicken stroganoff? Why is Sholmes on this fucking arm? Great detective. Ha, I don't think so. Oh yeah, he noticed. Do you see that, Mikatoba? It would appear that this man is a devoted follower of mine. I'm trying to see if I can read it upside down. Goodness me, is that a tattoo that says Sholmes? I must say, while such adoration is flattering naturally, it does leave me a little cold. What are you talking about? Leave, now! How distressing. My loyal devotee knows me only by name and not by appearance. And yet, I already know a great deal about you, sir. You're a brother, I believe. Like yourself, he's a shipman. Currently traveling the world aboard a Russian steamship, in fact. How could you know this? Elementary, my dear Mikatoba. I'm sure it was. 3 days ago, I was bound for London aboard this ship, you see. We're looking for one of my fellow passengers, a man by the name of Jacob. There is no one with this name on board. But we know he purchased a ticket for passage. Ah, you mean Easterman. He left ship 2 hours ago. Here at Dunkirk, he said something about emergency, I think. What? Are you sure? Sensation has realized we're after him, has he? His cabin is one behind you. We would like to investigate, please. No! I have orders not to let even mouse inside! Mikatoba, be a good man and draw the sailor's attention away, would you? Make up some excuse so that he leaves the area. Doesn't great detective see that even sailors have ears, both left and right? Curses! The plan is ruined! And you have only yourself to blame, I'm afraid, Sholmes. Forget it. Cabin door's locked. Even if I'm not here, you cannot get inside. Mikatoba, I'm sure you haven't forgotten my special talent, have you? Opening any lock? Within a mere 5 seconds. So if you'd be so kind as to afford me the requisite time, old friend, in your typical accommodating manner. How could I refuse such a typically unappealing request, old friend? So I need to distract that burly sailor for 5 seconds, do I? Good man. So, the game is afoot. It's supposed to be a mousetrap, I think. Perhaps I could distract the crewman's attention with this somehow. Choo choo! That sounds like Big Mouse and Trap. Choo choo! I will bring bucket of water later and put out a mystery. I don't like the sound of that. In any case, my dear fellow, that was quite unconvincing. Only Japanese mice make a choo sound. Oh, really, Sholmes? And pray tell, what do Russian mice make? Pee-pee, naturally. Though, also quite unconvincing, I readily admit. So go ahead, Mikatoba, do a pee-pee this time. No, thank you. I'm sure I can come up with an alternative solution. Can I... Oh, what is this? Ah, the switch for the electrical lights. Perhaps if I were to turn off the lights, the crewman wouldn't be able to see what we were doing. Ah! What is happening? Where is light? Now, Sholmes, now! What the fuck, Sholmes? Nobody there. That was a close shave. What a knack you have, stumbling so violently in an apparently empty corridor. Do be quiet, Sholmes. I shall have to think of another approach. Okay, that didn't fucking work. Alright, we're pulling the alarm. This appeared to be an alarm bell. All hell would break loose if that thing were to ring. The whole crew would know about it. Here goes then. Pardon me in advance. You! What are you doing? If it were at sea, that would be a very bad problem. What's going on down there? Seaman Stroganoff, report at once. Sorry, sir. Nothing to report. It was just a stupid trick. No, not by me. By world famous. No, as I told you. Now, Sholmes, now. Done. Not even 5 seconds, huh? Well, don't just stand there gawping at my brilliance. Mikatoba, in we go. Oh, yes. I swear to God, if we find him dead here, we will have problems. Good gracious. It would appear that the occupant of this cabin did indeed disembark rather hurriedly. Those clothes on the floor there, they're safety vests, without question. Well, it seems we were just a little too late. Yes, by about 2 hours. Still, whilst we're here, we should investigate thoroughly. There may be, well, 2 hours worth of clues to find in here. That burly crewman may return at any moment, Sholmes. Indeed he may, which makes this all the more thrilling. He stuffed something in there. There's a speaking tube here, look. Though it's been stoppered with some cloth. So the voices of the crewmen on the bridge aren't an annoyance, I suppose. Or indeed, so that the voices in this cabin aren't heard elsewhere. Could something have happened in here? Now, that was not for one's else's ears, do you think? Either that, or it could be to prevent snakes from entering. That's really becoming a favorite case of yours, hasn't it? According to the report I was given, Naruhodo was concealed in the Sobanosuke's wardrobe. Indeed he was, and it was of a similar size to this one. Ah, you must climb inside yourself, my dear fellow. What? Whatever for? It was the site of my first fateful meeting with Mr. Naruhodo. You could experience the moment for yourself now, complete with my dramatic rhetoric. Come along now, in you go. This will only take a minute. Really, Sholmes? Surely you could just tell me what you've said. Well, I uttered some brilliant remark and opened the wardrobe to reveal the stowaway murderer. I think I'll just read about it in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Quite the exquisite glass, I must say. See here how it is. Is something wrong, Sholmes? You suddenly trailed off. Ice, Mikatoba, ice! What opulence! The first-class passengers enjoy chilled drinks. Pardon? Could it be that the steamship is equipped with an electrically refrigerated cold room, do you think? Well, it is a luxury liner after all. They have enormous refrigerators for storing all sorts of lavish produce as well as ice. On our voyage from Japan, we enjoyed culinary delights from all over the world. Suddenly, Mikatoba. The sight of you is making my mouth water. I haven't taken the flavor of the food I ate, you know. These are the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Additionally, there are severe punishments for stowing away in the wardrobes and or travel. I feel the rules have increased since I last read them. Probably just my imagination. What about the fact that they're not straight on the wall? Doesn't that strike you? You may be right. Probably just your imagination, though. And you know what I always say, Mikitova? There's nothing important about trifles. It's probably just my imagination, but I think that might be slightly off. The wall is slightly different color here, do you see? Indeed. What you have observed arises when a frame that has been hanging there for some time is removed. Perhaps your friend is an art thief. Now that's a bold deduction worthy of a great detective, I'm sure. He may very well be the elusive thief who has been plaguing France's galleries of late. I think perhaps we should focus our attentions elsewhere, Sholmes, don't you? An outline on the wall. I feel as though I might have spotted something of a similar shape and size elsewhere. That's a very sizable trunk indeed. This hero is partial to all things large. And a rather clumsy fellow if he failed to notice he left that behind. Perhaps he left it on purpose. It's lighter than you might think, but still a hindrance to a speedy escape. Pity. It's locked, so we can't look inside. Only 5 seconds from now, the situation will be quite different, though. Sadly not, it has a 7-digit combination locked. And I'm not in a morose enough mood to work through all the combinations at present. Plenty of reading material to keep passengers occupied on the long sea voyages. I found the mixture of classic literature and easy reading to be most satisfactory, I must say. Whoever stocked this bookcase was a hopeless heretic. There's no copy of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, my dear fellows. I'm afraid it's just me. But no, you're quite right. More blasphemous than overlooking the Bible. I shall leave a copy behind. I just happen to have one with me. You're a true missionary of the Church of Great Detectives, aren't you? Waste bin. It's the waste paper basket. Look, there's some rubbish inside. Indeed. Then let us pray. I've discovered recently I have a penchant for exploring the contents of other waste paper baskets. I sincerely hope only for your work. Ah. Here we have a notice issued to passengers from 3 days ago. 3 days ago? The night before we arrived in London, then. And I was still aboard myself. On the departure of Porter Ducker, all crew members are required to assemble on the main deck at 10 p.m. in order to... God damn it! Ah yes, there was an evacuation drill. I remember now. For our safety and security, all first-class passengers were constantly under the watchful eye of the crew. So it was a welcome relief to have some privacy for once. You are still here? Ah, able seaman Stroganov. Hello again. I was beginning to think you'd never materialize. Huh? You were waiting for me? Of course, I was expecting you to burst in with a hearty Russian profanity far sooner. I was in trouble with Captain because of the trick you played before. Poor innocent chicken. It is all your fault. Ship is leaving port soon. Get off, now. Of course, we shall disembark presently, my dear fellow. But first, there is something that must be done. What are you talking about? Why, naturally, the debunking of your deceit and the bearing of the truth. Kakoi? I don't know if I said that right. I'm afraid I see through your lies. For one thing, Mr. Jikoku has not left this vessel at all. Oh, the music. And for another thing, my dear Seaman Stroganoff. You know exactly where the man is even as we speak, don't you? How can you? Good gracious, Jones. You mean you worked it out? All of it? It's really been too long, hasn't it, old friend? 10 years, no less. So, would you care to join me for a dance? Of my inimitable logic and reasoning? Nothing will please me more. What is this? We have but minutes until the vessel puts to sea. No games now. Yeah, this is so cool! Time is of the essence. Mrs. Stroganoff, allow me to remind you of your earlier claim. You told us that Jikoku left the ship some 2 hours ago. Ah, that's what I said! Sadly, that was a rather clumsy lie. You see, there is something in this room that's quite clearly contradicts it. What? Ah, yes, of course. I see you've noted it too, Mikotoba. Then please, do take the lead. What in this cabin shows the impossibility of Jikoku having disembarked 2 hours early? Or 2 hours ago? Let's see what the last 3 years have done to your observational skills then, Mikotoba. It's been 10 years since we last did this, Sholmes, not 3. Why, of course it has. Quite! Now, all the clues are here in this cabin for your eyes to see. But as I always say, you must not merely look, but observe. Observe, and the answers become clear. So, impress me. I think I can manage that. The impossibility of Jikoku. This.
Take that!
This is so cool. Hello, Mega. How you doing? I Mikotoba tap danced. Perhaps he should have cleared away that glass. How curious that the ice shouldn't have melted despite being abandoned 2 hours ago. It would appear that the man was here in this very cabin until moments before our arrival. With this well-chilled glass in hand. Get your mind off the refreshments, Sholmes. One might even conclude that somebody informed him of our boarding. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Stroganoff? But why would Seishiro run from us? Before we consider that question, allow me to confirm one small matter. Would I be incorrect in saying that these first-class cabins of the SS Grus are the same ones in which you and Mr. Jikoku were accommodated on your voyage from Japan? Ah, that's right, they are. I was in the cabin next door, and Seishiro was, yes, 50 days in this very cabin during our voyage. As I suspected, for you see, there are traces in this cabin of a dark secret that Mr. Jikoku had to hide. What traces? I know nothing about this! Ah, this is news to you, isn't Mr. Stroganoff? Sholmes, what exactly are you getting at? As I said, there are traces in this cabin of some nefarious activity. Something that appears out of place, which I'm quite sure you wouldn't have escaped your notice. Something out of place in here. That's the key to this, Mikotoba. The remnants of the dark deed that took place in here are being masked by something quite incongruous? Is that how you say it? I must say, I didn't foresee ever doing this dance of deduction with you again, Mikotoba. No, quite. But life is full of unexpected twists and turns, as we all well know. Now then, let's see if I can't uncover the truth here. Yes, you have the floor, my dear fellow. Eoink.
Take that!
It's the rules of passage in this frame here. They're obviously out of place. The way they're hanging on the crooked wall, as if they were put there in a hurry. Yes, as I'm sure you've already concluded, that the frame was originally over here. The shape and size are a perfect match. Ah, you were right. When did the frame move? Hardly the most observant of crewmen, are you, Mr. Stroganoff? I would think your captain is quite justified in having his reservations about your reliability. Oh wait, is the tattoo on his arm actually a number? Wait, S-H-O-L-M-E... Yeah, it's a fucking number. I was trying to read it upside down. Oh dear, that really seemed to touch a nerve. So, Mr. Mikitoba, why don't you lift that frame off the wall? That is a gunshot wound. That looks like a bullet hole. What? Who has been shooting walls? I see, the projectile has been removed. Clearly the careful occupant of this room has already disposed of it. Now then, Mr. Stroganoff, I have the distinct impression that you're attempting to shield said occupant. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I try to protect Eastern stranger? Ah, so we're talking about the same man, I see. Good. I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this in no time, aren't you? Because there's some very noteworthy evidence that explains the reason why you're lying for the man. Yes, you've been told to keep us this pretense. It's clearly shown by... I really don't know how to approach this one, Sholmes. Ah, my dear Mikitoba, simply keep first principles in mind. Study your subject from every angle. And I'm quite sure that you'll see it. In fact, I put a wager on it. So I'm to glare at the fellow from all sides. Well, I can certainly do that. I can't angle this, god damn it.
Take that!
It's almost too obvious for words. Quite. The universal language of the world. Money. And I wager that the Eastern fellow in question is Seishiro Jikoku, yes? So, I presume you realize what this means. That there are clear signs that a crime has been committed in this cabin. And the way you're going, sir, you'll find yourself accused of being an accomplice. But... I believe you know, Mr. Stroganoff. You know where Mr. Jikoku is hiding at this precise moment in time. As always, Miss Mikitoba, in matters of deduction, the furtive glance is your unfaltering ally. Yes, I think you're onto something there, Sholmes. You found the chink in this burly fellow's armor. We need only follow the man's gaze to know where our prey is hiding. The slightest flicker of the pupils, a minutely delayed blink. Nothing escapes my attention, even that which is barely perceptible. You could hardly call this barely perceptible, Sholmes. The man's turned his entire head. It's not exactly what you describe as a furtive glance, is it? It's almost too obvious. We shall let your tapping toes aside, my dear fellow.
Take that!
You turned immediately to look at this large trunk, didn't you? The truth is, Seishiro Jikoku was unable to escape from the ship in time. And is, at this very moment, doing his best to stifle his breath inside this trunk. If he still has a breath to take, I fear he may be running dangerously low on air. I imagine he didn't count on us making a nuisance of ourselves for quite so long. I think it would be in everyone's best interest for us to open the trunk as quickly as possible. But how can we? Aren't you forgetting about the combination lock? We don't know the 7-digit code. The combination lock can't be opened from inside the trunk. Therefore, there must have been an arrangement for somebody to open it after our departure. Of course. In short, before Jikoku hid himself inside that trunk, he must have told someone the 7-digit number for the lock. As I'm sure you can confirm, Mr. Stroganoff. No! I know nothing about the combination code. Don't move a muscle, my good seaman. Huh? Now, Mikatoba, would you do the honors and open the trunk? How on earth do you expect me? It's a 7-digit number, remember. Quickly now, we have little time. Five. I'm gonna guess that's supposed to be... Oh shit, hang on. I need to write this down. My brain's not able to brain it right now. I don't have a fucking notepad. Why don't I have a notepad? Ugh. Okay, this will have to do. I am using the shipping sticker for this. Don't mind me. I don't know where my notepad is. So he had the name Sholmes, but the problem, so it's weirdly written, but the fact is Stroganoff has to be able to read it, which means he's turning his arm inwards, which means it's going to be upside down and in reverse. So we have Sholmes, which that would be, that's supposed to be a 6, but we'll say that's an O. 3, 1, 0, 4, 5. There's not a single 2. Okay, so it's I'm either gonna get this correct or in reverse. Five, 0, 3, 1, 0, 4, 5. Yeah, so there's Sholmes there, however, Stroganoff has to stare at it, and there is no 6. So then it's 5. The S's are 5s. The O and the E is supposed to be a 0. The M is tilted in a way that should be a 3. There's a 1 and there's a 4. So...
Take that!
What? What number did you use? Oh, to begin with, I thought I'd try my birthday. Your birthday? Interesting, since as of today, with that absurd guesswork, you're dead to me. Oh, that... As measured as ever in response, Sholmes. If you only look in the right place, Mikatoba, the answer will be staring you in the face. The right place? Well, if you're having a spot of bother, I always find standing on my head aids at cognitive processes. Is that not it? That's what it says. 5? Is that supposed to be a fucking 2?
Take that!
Holy shit, that's supposed to be a 2. I did it! It opened! You had the medal, didn't you? Hi! Well, Yujin, you found me now. Say Shiro. I was really hoping beyond hope not to find you in here, you know. But you're not entirely unsurprised, I take it. No, quite. I just wished it was some other way. Well, are you ever going to introduce me? Ah, your reputation precedes you, Mr. Sholmes. I've read stories of many of your exploits. Excuse my manners, Sholmes. This is Mr. Jikoku, my old friend and traveling companion. The devil in the details, Mikatoba. I believe you meant to say your old friend and traveling companion, who made the cowardly decision to flee the country without a word to anyone when things turned sour. I see my reputation precedes me as well. What an honor. Well, Seishiro, are you gonna explain all this? You know it all by now, I imagine. What you didn't know, of course, is that 3 days ago, on the night before our arrival in Britain, an attempt was made on my life here on this very ship. By the Reaper of the Bailey? Yes, I've since heard. Because you were once prosecuted by the Reaper, weren't you? 10 years ago now, mind. And I had no idea at the time what a dangerous individual he was. Anyways, when we arrived in London to find the symposium was postponed until goodness knows when, it became all too apparent to me that I might very well be targeted again. So you decided to flee the capital without saying a word to me about it? I'm afraid so, yes, of course. I realize now that I really ought to have confided in you. It's somewhat surprising, I must say. What is? Well, first-class cabins aboard luxury steamships are in very short supply. It's more than a little hard to believe that this one just happened to be available. So, since the protagonist is some couple short stories, well, I don't care for your opinion. The cabin did just happen to be available, so I purchased a ticket, and here I am. I've just seen for myself the obvious remnants of that incident in this cabin. So you've already purchased your return ticket before we even docked in Dover, had you? To prevent anyone else taking this cabin and seeing the evidence, is that it? Eugen, I have nothing to say to you. Well, in a mere 5 minutes, the ship will set off to its onward voyage and not make port again until Italy. I'm afraid we must insist that you disembark with us at once. You have no jurisdiction over my movements. We have this, Seishiro. Take it. What is this? It's a subpoena from the Old Bailey. You're a man of the law. You know what the ramifications of ignoring a document like this from the British courts would be. Oh my god, he's scary. You came prepared then, Eugen. Come on, let's go. One moment. What is it, Sholmes? Inside Mr. Jikoku's trunk. I found this rather fascinating trinket. That is the watch. What is that, Seijiro? I can't help you, I'm afraid. Some small component from something. But what? I have no idea. By the look on his face, I think he genuinely doesn't know. Well, let us pocket this as a small souvenir on our brief sojourn in France. Can I observe it? Can I observe it? I can't. Well, young Naruhodo, I think we've done as much as we can, I'm afraid. The rest will be on the shoulders of you and your assistant. Kazuma Asaki, I know you, and I know you wouldn't lie. But still, there's no doubt that you're holding something back. You know more than you're saying. During the past 30 minutes, while this court was adjourned, all possible efforts were expended. But sadly, Mr. Jikoku's whereabouts could not be ascertained. We must accept the unfortunate conclusion that the Reaper has already done the deed. There's no sense in wasting any more of the court's time. The prosecution calls for an immediate verdict.
Objection!
No, the trial cannot end now. You're a Japanese man, Ryunosuke. You should know when to lay down your sword. And you should know never to presume when the battle is won. The court has already been presented with all of the evidence and heard all relevant testimony. And there can only be one conclusion, that the accused is guilty. All relevant testimony? Far from it. There's still a crucial witness, from whom the court has yet to hear a single word of testimony. In that case, call your witness to the stand at once, counsel. Yes, my lord. Tomorrow, if possible. The witness is already on his way, and scheduled to arrive tomorrow. Who on earth is this crucial witness? Seishiro Jikoku. The very man allegedly murdered by the Reaper. Jikoku? You found him? But the investigations of a very policing resource in the capital suggests that Jikoku is already dead. How in the name of God did you find the man? He was located in France during the recess at the port of Dunkirk. Thanks to the one of Mr. Herlock Sholmes' famous deductions. Herlock Sholmes. Inspector Gregson almost certainly met with Mr. Jikoku on the night of his death, because along with Professor Asagi, Gregson was on a mission to assassinate the man. Which means that Seishiro Jikoku is sole witness. We can clarify exactly what happened aboard the SS Grus on the 31st October. Well, it would appear that it's too soon to move the adjudication at this point. The prosecution concurs. The court must hear Mr. Jikoku's testimony. No judgment should be passed until all testimony has been considered. In that case, I hereby call the end of today's proceedings. Court will reconvene at the same hour tomorrow. No objections from either side? No, my lord. No objections, my lord. We live to fight another day. By the skin of our teeth. Ooh. I don't want to take a break. I don't want to stop stream. But I also don't know if I can go through as much as the trials I'm hoping for. I will say I need to get some water. The unexpected halt of proceedings sent a clamor around the courtroom. But outside the Bailey, where Londoners knew nothing of the secret trial within, it was a typical still night. Then, at a little past 8 o'clock that evening, Mr. Sholmes and his partner returned to Baker Street. That is a lot of food. That just looks like it was copied and pasted there. So, let me go get some water real quick. Oh my god, I'm alive. Okay. We have returned, my dear fellows. That was one heck of a voice crack. Welcome back to Britain, and thank you for your timely help. Think nothing of it. I believe you had an even more wearing day than Mikatoba and I know. You could say that. We were on the brink of defeat in the court earlier. So this prosecutor, Asaki, has you on the ropes, did he? And he's your best friend, you say? Well, he's not really the man I knew in Japan anymore. Hasn't much changed. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. I mean, it's incredible. To think that he'd even entered the idea of acting as the Reaper's assassin. Well, nevertheless, you must introduce me. After all, I've only ever met the young man as a corpse. When all this started, almost a year ago now? Or all this started almost a year ago now. Mr. Sholmes still hasn't told us the truth about what really happened back then. About the motivation for what he himself described as a great detective's lie. Now then, I must say, it's really quite a journey all the way to France. Well, it is another country, Mr. Sholmes. So, what's news of Judge Chikoku? We took him to Scotland Yard. The investigating detectives there have a lot of questions for the man. Poor Professor Mikatoba. This must be quite a shock for him. Ah, yes. I picked this up at the telegraph office on the way home. What is it? Surely you haven't forgotten already. I put upon you for the matter only yesterday. You put upon me, Sholmes. I had to fill out your telegram to Japan and foot the bill as well. Oh, you had a reply already? Well, so urgent though, Mr. Sholmes. Such matters can wait until later. I'm far too hungry for an involved conversation at present. Well, that's good news because supper is ready, everyone. Ah, and what a feast it is! If I were none the wiser, I think the trial were already won. Roast beef, kippers, stew, steak, and kidney pie. Yorkshire pudding. Or it could be a very long day, so eat up. In that case, I think I'll seat myself just here. This place appears to be the only one set with a helping of pheasant as well. Oh, sorry, Hurley, not there. Why ever not? Are we in set places this evening? Yes. And that place is for Susie's daddy. For me? That's right. I made it especially for you, Professor Mickey. I see. Well, that's terribly kind of you. It's a shame, really. What do you mean? Well, for a brief moment, I believed it. That Susie and I were half-sisters, I mean. Iris, do you mean... Yes, I know now. I overheard yesterday. I secretly listened to the conversation you had after I tricked you all into thinking I left. What? What? The misunderstanding arose because of that autopsy report from 10 years ago. But actually, it turned out that neither Dr. Wilson nor Professor Mikatoba are his father. Yes, about that, Iris. You know why? I know. You can't tell me at the moment. Oh, Iris. The pheasant is by way of an apology. I'm sorry for eavesdropping. Oh, no, that's quite alright. Why don't I get any apologetic pheasant? So just who is Iris's father? Is this someone that we actually know? I don't think it's Gregson. And I don't think it can be Strongheart or Von Zeeks. Who the fuck's your daddy? I suppose that's not something we'll be finding out today. So then, let us dine, while our largely pheasant-less plates are still piping hot. A fine idea, Sholmes. It all looks absolutely delicious. Eat as much as you like, there are always seconds. This could be our last chance to ask questions before tomorrow's trial. About the telegram from Japan, and about Kazuma. I can't let this opportunity slip away. What are you doing, buddy? My dude. My dude, what are you doing there? Mr. Sholmes? What are you doing? Surely it's abundantly clear that I wasn't brooding over Mikotoba's refusal to share his pheasant with me. Nevertheless, I felt the need to withdraw from the social circle for a while and look on with hungry eyes. Sorry, Hurley, but I cooked that pheasant especially for Susie's daddy. Even though I've played the role of father to you for far longer. Mr. Sholmes, could I discuss some things with you? Certainly, my dear fellow. I find myself quite in the mood for a spell of conversation. No doubt, you're hungry to learn more of my deep love of the game. I can probably contain my curiosity on that one. You needn't look at me in that fashion. In what fashion? It seems that before we discuss the pheasant, we have some rather unpheasant matters to discuss. Shit. See these little things all over the place, don't you? It's the part of the top of a pocket watch that you twist to set time, isn't it? It's called the crown, I believe. A watch would be quite useless without one. The crown? Like what sits on top of a monarch's head? It's a very grand name for such a tiny part. But actually, yes, Mr. Naruhodo? This is a crown. I have a feeling I might have seen a monarch around here somewhere with a very bare head. If by monarch you mean pocket watch, then I'm quite sure you have. So, what was in the telegram you received back from Japan then? Ah, this? I think my lucky stars had arrived in time. Record found as indicated. Duplicate false. K. Asuki. A. Shin. T. Gregson. J. Wilson. What? Those 4 names! We've come across the exact same list before. Yep. That is what Iris has decoded. Came up in that unforgettable case last spring. What appeared to be a simple case of aggravated murder turned out to be masking monumental intrigue. A plot that involved the sale of British governmental secrets to foreign states. In exposing the means by which those secrets were being leaked, we deciphered a fragment of a message. A. Asaki. A. Shin. T. Gregson. J. Wilson. We didn't find the names out until the case was over, and we never did get to the bottom of what they meant. All we know was that the information has been sent by someone in the British government to somebody in Japan. So, why are the names coming up again now? Yes, where did the sender of your telegram discover them, Mr. Sholmes? I have here the message I had wired yesterday. Allow me to read it to you. Enter Judge Shikoku's office undetected and investigate telegram records. Expect to find communication from Britain dated 1 year ago. List of 4 names, need by tomorrow. Naruhodo. I sent it to a detective I know who specializes in clandestine missions of this nature. You asked Inspector Hazanaka to undertake such an onerous task for you? And in my name? I wonder what guise he opted for this time. My dear fellows, it was a matter of great urgency, you understand? Anyway, the list of names was found in Seishira's office, as Sholmes predicted. So you mean that mysterious collection of names that was sent from Britain to Japan was sent to Judge Jikoku. He was the intended recipient. Even. That doesn't answer the question of what the list of names actually signify. I did formulate a hypothesis about that. But without a shred of evidence, I couldn't possibly have shared it. Mr. Sholmes looks deadly serious for once. That tragedy we had to go through on the SS Buria. It was all for nothing. Kazuma wasn't dead at all. You were completely taken in by the lie you told us. Your great detective's lie. I took no pleasure in deceiving you. However, at the time, all that concerned me was preventing the young man's study tour from taking place, whatever the cost. What? I capitalized on the events that transpired to see that he was sent back to Japan. His remains, you mean? Precisely, Mrs. Zato. And then, I made sure that somebody else was sent to Britain instead. Oh my, you mean... The arrangement between our two countries was already in place. One university student lawyer and one judicial assistant to be accommodated on a study tour. In other words, by arranging for someone else to fill the place originally intended for Mr. Asaki. I would successfully prevent the man from arriving on our shores for several years at least. Wait, do you mean to say that it was all in aid of stopping Kazuma coming to Britain? That's why you... Think back, Mr. Naruhodo. Was there not somebody who quite casually urged you to continue on the voyage to England? Oh yeah, you did. Is one lawyer? The study tour can continue. So, you manipulated me? I've often remarked on the extraordinary lengths to which the friendship will drive a man. I was quite sure that you would rise to the challenge for your late friend. I don't believe it. But if it was all contrived... I mean, what happened was treated by the authorities as murder. A woman who was mistakenly arrested as its perpetrator. What do you suppose became of her? Naturally, I didn't allow the misapprehensions to have any serious repercussions. I subsequently explained everything and assisted the unfortunate soul in finding the foreign refuge she sought. I seem to remember Mrs. Zato and I had to make some I had some rather strong words for her. Well, she was certainly not devoid of all guilt. She deserved every word, I'm sure. I wonder if she made it to America then. I'm afraid I simply cannot comprehend it. Why would you go to such lengths, Mr. Sholmes? Why were you so determined to stop Kazuma-sama from reaching Britain? The truth is, 12 months ago, There was already a very tangible omen of the impending tragedy, you see. An omen that, at this very moment in time, is close at hand. An omen of all these tragic events that already existed a year ago? Is close at hand? We need to find out exactly what Mr. Sholmes knows. Wait, shit, do you need me to present something? You need me... This was not a year ago. Mr. Sholmes, would you mind looking at this? This is hardly the time, Mr. Naruhodo, as I'm sure you will appreciate. Oh, no, of course not. My attention is entirely drawn to one single matter now. The pheasant. Anyone would think you hadn't eaten in weeks. Shit. Hang on, we might be at this for a second. Okay. There's no room for doubt with your instructions in this telegram, Mr. Sholmes. You were very clear that it was Judge Shikoku's office that should be searched, so... You obviously knew that's where the list of names would be found. Is this just text? Yeah. K. Asagi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. We learned his four names just over 6 months ago now. And only because he appeared as part of the top secret government communications that were leaked. That's true, yes. But at the time, you were unaware of the background. You see, those 4 names were wired to Japan. Around 6 months before that. Approximately this time last year, in fact. When you were both still in Japan. It would be hypocrisy on my part to reprove the others for intercepting state secrets. Because after all, I'm perpetually eavesdropping on communications between the British and Japanese governments. You're perpetually doing what? How? Never mind the details, but you should know. No secret is safe from Herlock Sholmes. When he has designs on knowing it. Oh my, Mr. Sholmes, what a fabulous line! Now, 1 month after that list of 4 names was wired to the recipient Shikoku in Japan, Dr. John H. Wilson was murdered. As soon as I learned of the incident, my hypothesis rapidly took shape in my mind. As it turns out, I was partly correct and partly mistaken. Nevertheless, it was the beginning of all the tragic events that were to follow. Mr. Sholmes, please, tell us all you know. Tell us about these 4 names and the tragedy to which they're all somehow connected. As I said, when I learned of Dr. Wilson's murder in Japan, my mind immediately turned to those 4 names because, you see, there was someone else on the list who I believe to be recently deceased. What? Who? A. Shin, as it was transcribed in Japanese script. In actual fact, Miss Asa Shin. That was a familiar name to me. She was a professional killer, well known among London's unsavory classes. Oh, I see. But she had completely vanished from existence several months before Wilson's murder. So I came to the logical conclusion that she had herself been killed. And accordingly, I became fearful for the lives of the remaining 2 persons on the list. Kei Asaki and T. Gregson! Owing to our proximity, I decided to take measures to protect Gregson myself. But I determined it would be safest if young Asaki were to stay away from Britain. So that's why you went to such lengths to prevent his study tour from going ahead. Exactly. So, you already knew who Kazuma-sama was, Mr. Sholmes? Oh yes, Sholmes and I had exchanged correspondence for years. I've recounted many tales about Asagi to him in my letters, and the news of Dr. Wilson's death, of course. So, Dr. Wilson is dead then? Didn't know. Oh, Iris! I know he wasn't my daddy, but still. That's very sad. I'm so sorry, Iris. We knew the significance of the name, obviously, but we just couldn't bring ourselves to tell you. No. But what you just told us, Mr. Sholmes, doesn't completely tie in with the facts. There's one big hole in your hypothesis. A big hole, Mr. Naruhodo? Ah, yes. You mean about Asa Shin, I presume? Oh, of course! Exactly. She wasn't killed, was she? She was in Japan, posing as a visiting student under the assumed name of Giselle Brett. I'm glad you're keeping up, my dear fellow. But I only became aware of that fact 2 days ago, in the foyer of a great Waterloo hotel. And upon hearing that startling revelation, a hypothesis that had formed surrounding those 4 names was completely turned topsy. What? Topsy? What do you mean when you say your hypothesis was turned topsy, Mr. Sholmes? I'd believe all 4 names on the list to be names of victims. However, I was mistaken. Very much so, Asa Shin was a killer. This telegram is a list of both victims and killers, is it? Indeed, and it would seem that Mr. Shin was dispatched from Britain with the sole intention of dispatching Dr. Wilson. Her visiting student status being merely a front. Which would of course explain why no motive could be determined for her actions. The real reason Dr. Wilson was killed by Asa Shin is because he was the target of an assassination. And formed with that knowledge, fresh consideration of this telegram puts the list in a very different perspective. What do you mean? Well, does not strike you? There's another among the 4 who subsequently became a visiting student. Wait, you mean... But of course, a name you know only too well. You mean... Kazuma? He did say in court earlier today. Was he actually sent in as an assassin? Young Mr. Asagi accepted that mission a year ago now. Surely not. In conclusion, this document is a contract of sorts. An international agreement, one might say, detailing an assassin exchange. An assassin exchange? How could Kazuma possibly have gotten involved in something like that? Let's assume that we have 2 parties, each wishing to dispose of a distinct individual. Those 2 parties then make a contract to swap their respective assassination targets. That would then be an assassin exchange. So to begin with, the British assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Japan, where she kills her target. And then, the Japanese assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Britain in order to eliminate his target. It certainly does sound like an exchange. But what on earth is the point? Don't forget, Naruhodo, the British assassin at least escaped conviction. Thanks to diplomatic immunity afforded by consular jurisdiction. Oh yes. Such jurisdiction should be null and void under the terms of the new treaty between our 2 countries. So the fact that it was brought into play suggests intervention at the very highest levels. The highest levels? These murders were 2 sides of the same coin, linked not by a common motive but by a contractual agreement. As such, they appeared utterly unrelated. Yet in truth, the assassins were complicit in one singular devilish scheme. That disassociation and the safeguard of diplomatic immunity were, I believe, the motivation behind this plot. But wait a minute, Sholmes. This telegram really is describing the exchange of assassins as you're suggesting. It would mean the Japanese killer target was never Seishiro Jikoku at all. It would mean Asagi's target was actually Inspector Gregson. What? Kazuma was here for Gregson? So Judge Jikoku wasn't actually the mark? Yes, that's exactly what it would mean. I hold myself personally responsible for failing to keep the inspector safe. Mr. Sholmes. I told him of my fears and implored him to seek a transfer to an overseas position. Obviously, with the young pickpocket in tow. Yes, Gina. Come to think of it, Inspector Gregson did mention that to us at the Great Exhibition. That he'd be transferred to the Paris police and taking Gina with him. But without informing me, he engaged in one last assignment, it seems. And sadly, it turned out to be his very last. This is too much to take in. Alright everyone, that's quite enough of all that serious talk for one day. Isn't it early? I mean, look at the time! Ah, quite right, Iris. We must conclude our preparations for tomorrow. What preparations? Well, I think I shall make my way back to my hotel room now. This has certainly been a night to remember. It is a little bit sad, though. I mean, I'd like the idea of you being my daddy. Because then Susie would have been my big sister. I'm sorry, Iris. I know, Iris. I was thinking quite the same thing. Were you? But if somebody like me would be worthy, I would be delighted to become your sister. What? Really? Oh yes, without question. So, you'll teach me all the ways you know to throw Runo to the floor. Yes, yes, of course. It would be my pleasure. You didn't have to agree quite so readily. Oh, but wait a minute. If Susie's gonna be my big sister, you could be my big brother if you want, Runo. Huh? I mean, yes, of course. If you'll have me, I'll gladly be your brother. Well done, Iris. We must always be mindful of feelings. I raised you so well. Because being sensitive is your strong suit, naturally. Right. I'm going to work extra hard for tomorrow now. Because it's for my big brother and sister. What is all this talk about preparing for tomorrow? Preparing what? You'll just have to wait and see. Oh. Good luck in court tomorrow. I'm expecting a sterling performance. I'll do my very best, of course. So the overnight break in the trial's proceedings became a crucial turning point. Exposing new truths, opposing new conundrums. That list of 4 names on the telegram in Judge Chikoku's office. An extraordinary assassination plot in which my best friend had somehow become involved. I felt as though I'd been plunged into an even greater darkness all of a sudden. But at the same time, I felt sure I was seeing the light again soon. Because I was lucky enough to have the most wonderful family in the world standing steadfastly behind me. I am so fucking confused. So, like, I barely remembered the 4 names when I first played this game. So when I got spoiled on the fact that Gregson fucking dies, I came to the same conclusion as Sholmes, where the telegram is a list of people that are supposed. It's a fucking hit list. It's a fucking hit list because I had no idea who Asa Shin was. I assumed they would show up in this game. Kazuma's name was on there and he was dead. When I played the first chapter. Gregson, I got spoiled, was dead. And then Wilson, who was literally in the very first death. I'm like, this means there are 4 people dying. There are 4 people dying. So then I get very confused on why Asa Shin... No, I almost confirmed it because Asa Shin ends up dying. But now Holmes is saying it's a fucking assassin exchange. I'm so fucking confused and I'm so concerned. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And I have no idea how this ties to the goddamn dog collar thing. I don't know what's going on, yo. I don't know what's going on. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared for this game. I'm gonna hang on. I'm gonna go scream in Nate's DMs. He's probably asleep. I'm gonna scream in his DMs. What the fuck is going on in this final chapter? I'm pretty sure he's gonna reply when he wakes up. He's gonna reply back with a smile or just something that's gonna be like a cackling laugh. Cause if he was on mic with me at this very moment, I would have just heard him fucking cackling at my response. Okay, it is 12 o'clock. I can keep on streaming, but I think I'm gonna stop doing Ace Attorney here. No, go away. I saved. So we'll stop Ace Attorney here. I'm gonna figure out what to play. So let me go ahead and end off the YouTube stream because YouTube does not have a nice way for me to switch categories. I'm so sorry, YouTube. I love you, YouTube. I'm so sorry. Alright. Anyways, I'll see the YouTube folks later. If you want to keep on watching, come over to my Twitch. I am gonna try to stream something for another hour. And also not die because the AC just finally turned on and the room's really hot. Oh shit. That little fly. Mr. Fly, I need you to go away. There's been a fly that's just been flying around my room and he will not leave me alone. Anyways, yeah. Bye, YouTube. Well, I will try to see if I can do the rest of the final chapter soon. I promise. Maybe, I don't know. Bye.